we will discuss about shear reinforcement. Shear reinforcement means what? In the first class, I told you that to hold the two bar, actually, suppose in a beam, at the top also we are providing some reinforcement, and at the bottom also we are providing some reinforcement. I'm not talking about your doubly reinforced beam, just a simple beam also. We have provided some reinforcement at the top also, in the compression zone also. Why we are providing this? To hold the stirrups. Stirrups are placing like this. So why we are providing stirrups? We are providing stirrups in the beam to resist the shear force. In general, concrete itself can resist the shear force. See, we are providing longitudinal bar, that means main bar, to resist the tension at the bottom. Suppose this is a beam, this shear longitudinal bar, and we have provided some compression reinforcement also here. Okay, these longitudinal bar are provided to resist the tension at the bottom, because below neutral axis zone is your tension zone. Suppose this is your neutral axis. Okay, so we have provided some reinforcement at the bottom to resist tension force. There is shear force also, isn't it? So who will resist that shear force? The concrete itself resists the shear force up to a limit that is called tau c. That will get from IS 456. But if your tau v, that means shear force is equal to what? Bu by Bd. We'll discuss these things. So shear stress is equal to Vu by Bd. Vu is equal to what? Your shear force. Like your bending, mu is equal to moment. In that way, Vu is equal to your shear force. So shear force by Bd is equal to what? Your tau v, shear stress. Okay. So if your tau v less than tau c, then we don't need any stirrups. Though we are providing stirrups as a whole to hold these two bar, compression and tension, at a regular interval, that is minimum 300 mm center to center distance. That is the maximum spacing, minimum spacing. Sorry, maximum spacing. That means distance between two stirrups is 300. That is maximum. So though we are providing this much, but if your tau v, shear force, is greater than tau c, then we have to design the beam from the point of view of shear failure also. We cannot provide minimum shear force. So we are always providing minimum shear force, minimum shear force as stirrups. Shear force are provided to resist the shear force. We are providing stirrups actually. Stirrups. Okay. These stirrups are provided to resist the shear force. So if your tau v is greater than tau c, then we have to design the beam from shear point of view also. So in this beam, 3 main bar is provided at the bottom, 2 bars. So 2 bar is provided at the top and 3 bars are provided. 2 bars are provided at the top and 3 bars are provided at the bottom. So this will resist your tension and this will resist your compression. But to resist this shear force, what we are doing, we have provided some stirrups. Like this. That means I'm drawing this is called hook. So this is your reinforcement one, this is another, This is called your stirrups. Have you noticed stirrups in a beam?
No, sir.
You didn't notice. You have not seen any building construction there. Your beam are constructed. Like
Yes,
this.
sir,
Your
yes.
beam are like this. Suppose this is your top, this is bottom, and these are like this. Stirrups. These are called stirrups in the beam. The circular one, and the diameter is less. That means we are providing stirrups 6 mm, 8 mm, or 10 mm there. To hold this top reinforcement and bottom reinforcement, we have provided some stirrups. Have you noticed these things?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is called stirrups. We always provided stirrup, whether it is required or not required. We always provided stirrup to hold the reinforcement in shape. That is main reinforcement in shape. We always provided some stirrup. But if your concrete cannot resist the shear force developed in the beam, then we have to design the beam as for shear failure also. So in that case, we have to design the beam in stirrups also. Clear? In general, what happened? Suppose this is a beam. Okay. This is a fixed beam. Fixed beam. I'm not talking about the simply supported one. This is a fixed beam support. So for this fixed beam, where is the maximum shear force occur? At the support, see, for simply supported beam, your shear force is 0 at the support, but for fixed beam, maximum shear force and bending moment occur at the support. So what happened in this range of support? This type of crack will occur. Sorry. Suppose this is a beam, then this type of crack will occur, diagonal crack, like this. Okay. So to resist this crack, we are providing stirrups here, like this. Or we design the beam for stirrups to resist this crack. This is your crack because of this shear failure. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when we will provide stirrups, or we will design the beam for stirrups, when your tau v, that is your design shear stress, tau v, that will be Vu by Vd. We can calculate the shear force. So design shear stress is greater than your tau c. And from where we will get this value tau c? I will show you in IS 456. That's great. From here, say design shear stress tau c. So if your tau v is greater than tau c, then we have to design the beam from shear failure also. So this will depend upon how much longitudinal reinforcement you have provided. Okay, this value with respect to your grade of concrete, this will depend upon percentage of longitudinal reinforcement you have provided. That is your 100 AST by BD. Okay, suppose you have provided in the tension zone. I'm talking about the tension zone only. Okay, so in the tension zone, suppose you have provided 5 numbers of 20 torban. Then what is the percentage of reinforcement? Depending upon that and grade of concrete, you can find out tau C value. Here, see 0.5, 0.25. Suppose if any value lies between 0.25 and 0.5, and you are using the grade of concrete as M20. So for 0.25, corresponding value is 0.36, and for 0.5, corresponding value is 0.48, M20 grade. So now your percentage of reinforcement is equal to suppose 0.35. Then what you have to do, you have to interpolate between 0.36 and 0.48. Clear? To calculate the value of tau C. So if your tau V is greater than tau C, then you have to design the beam for shear point of view. If your tau V is less than tau C, then no need to go for design the beam from shear failure. If your tau V greater than tau C, then only you have to design for shear. Clear? So when you are designing a beam, suppose in the last class we have designed the beam. Suppose in that beam we have to check whether, suppose in the exam, suppose there is a question, design the beam, suppose like that only. This is the section, this much is the moment, and just you need to design the beam. So if design the beam means what? You have to say whether after designing the or after calculating the longitudinal reinforcement, you have to say whether you have to design the beam for shear or not. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next point. See, again, I will show you in this table. Suppose you design the beam in the last class. Suppose we have designed the beam. So in that beam, see, one is designed for shear or one is redesign the beam depending upon your shear. So when you have to redesign, when suppose your tau V is greater than this tau C max, the table number 20. Just second. When your tau V is greater than tau C max, then what you have to do? You have to redesign the beam. That means, suppose initially you have assumed that depth of the design means what? You have to assume depth, you have to assume width, everything you have to assume. So after designing the tensional reinforcement, you just check that your tau V is greater than tau C max. Then what you have to do? You have to redesign the beam. That means what? Redesign means what? You have to increase the depth. Because see, your tau V is equal to what? Q by BD. Tau V. Let me write down here. Just take the table number 20. What is written here? One is grade of one side grade of concrete and one side tau C max. Clear? Table number 20, just check it. What is written here? Maximum shear stress. Now come to again whiteboard. So our tau V is equal to what? VU by BD. So if it is greater than tau C from table number 19, then design the beam for shear. Clear? Now your tau V is suppose VU by BD greater than tau C max. Maximum shear stress, that means table number 20. Now what happened? If you have state tau V and you found that tau V is greater than tau C max, then redesign. You have to redesign the beam. And for redesigning the beam, what you have to do, you have to increase the depth of the beam. Suppose initially you assume that depth of the beam is, suppose this is 300. Now, as the tau v is greater than tau c max, so what you have to do, you have to increase the depth. So suppose now I increase the depth up to 400. That means this much of depth, 300 mm depth, cannot resist this shear. So if you increase the depth, then what happens? Your tau v value will be decreased. Tau v value is decreased, then it will be less than tau c max. So always you have to check when only in the question it is given design the beam, then you have to check these things whether what we can say beam is safe, whether you have to design the beam from shear point of view or whether the beam is safe from the shear point of view. This is unsafe from the shear point of view. Unsafe this is. Okay, this is safe. This is safe, that's why you are go for shear design. But this is unsafe. So that's why what you have to do, you have to increase the depth. If you increase the depth, that means what? You have to again redesign whole procedure, starting from your longitudinal reinforcement. Clear?
Yes.
Up to this much clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So next, shear capacity of these stirrups. Now, this is locked. Always this is locked by in this way. So this is called your two-legged stirrup. That means this one leg and these two legs. So this is called your two-legged stirrups. Two-legged stirrups. This is called. These two are considered as leg. Two leg. That's why. So suppose you are saying that I am using 6 mm. Suppose 6 mm bar or two-legged. Two-legged 6 mm bar. That means what? If you are finding out this area, suppose A as B is the area of your stirrup, then you have to, what you have to do? 2 pi by 4 6 square. Then this is the area of the stirrups. So always check whether two-legged or three-legged. Three-legged is like what? Like this. This is three-legged. Three-leg is there. Then that you have to multiply it by 3. So if you are saying that I am providing two-legged stirrup, then area is how much? 2 into pi by 4 into diameter of the bar. Suppose you are saying that I am providing three-legged stair, then you have to multiply to find out the area, then you have to multiply this by 3. 3 into pi by 4 this square. Up to this much clear? Two-legged, three-legged. In general, we are providing two-legged stirrups. Clear? Up to this much clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, if ASB is the total area area of the legs of shear of stirrups or shear limbs of stirrups. SV spacing of stirrups. Spacing of stirrup means suppose these two are the main reinforcement. You are providing stirrups like this, so of the beam. So this distance is your SV. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So if ASB is the total area of the legs of the stirrup and SB is the spacing, then how many numbers of bars are required? That how we can find out? That is the number of stirrups. Number of stirrups, how we can find out? This number of stirrups is given by your N is equal to D by SB. And what is D? D is the effective depth. This number of stirrup is given by D by SB. And what is the D? D is the effective depth of the beam. Now, total shear resistance of the vertical stirrup or stirrup, because this is held vertically. This is whole vertically. Vertical stirrups that is your V as suppose shear resistance, that means shear force, that is equal to how much? 0.87 Fy. 0.87 Fy is the what we have? Shear stress into area ASB. Then what you will get? Shear force into number of stirrup D by SB. Then what you will get? Total shear resistance or shear force of the vertical stirrup system. Total means all of these stirrups. This is for one. This is for one. This is 0.87 FYSB. This is for one vertical stirrup. Either it is two-legged or three-legged. And D by SB is equal to what? Your total shear resistance of these all vertical stirrups. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So now see. These fears is what? See. Tau V is the shear force. Tau V is the shear force of this beam. That is equal to VU by D. This is the total shear force of the beam. Out of this total shear force, concrete can resist, isn't it? Up to a limit from the table 19, up to that limit, concrete can resist tau C. Now, remaining, this is your shear force. Not okay. This is Vs is equal to shear force. Now, that means what? Let me write in this way. So from here, Pu is equal to what? tau V BD. So this is the total shear force. Vu is equal to total shear force of the beam. Out of this, tau C, Vc by BD. Vc is equal to shear force of the concrete. So Vc is equal to tau C BD. This is equal to what? Shear force that can be resisted by the concrete. Vu is the total. So remaining one, Vu minus Vc, that will be resisted by what?
Sir, stirrups.
Yes, that means Vs. That is your Vs. So Vs is equal to, I can write, see, total is Vu, shear force. Vc that can be resisted by the concrete. Remaining one will be resisted but by what? By your stirrup. That's why we are providing stirrup, and that's why we are designing the beam from the shear failure also. So this Vs is equal to Vu minus Vc. So that means we can write in this way, tau V minus tau C. Let me write in the next. So Vs is equal to 0.87 Fy ASB into d by sb. So Vs is equal to U minus Vc. U minus Vc means tau V BD minus tau C BD. So we can write in this way, tau V minus tau C BD is equal to 0.87 Fy ASB d by sb. So tau V minus tau C is equal to 0.87 Fy ASB by BSB. Clear? So
Yes,
further
yes,
we can write in this way, ASB by SB is equal to tau V minus tau C into B 0.87 Fy. Up to this was clear?
Yes, sir.
Let me show this in your IS 456 also. All these things are there in the IS 456. When you are using the IS 456 during this solving of your problem, then you can easily find out where it is actually. See, this is vertical stirrup. For vertical stirrup, VUS is equal to 0.87 Fy ASB into D by SB. I am writing in the fashion of ASB by D. Then ASB by D is equal to what? VU. VUS I have written as VS. So VS by tau C into B, tau V minus tau C. This VS is equal to, isn't it? This, see, VS is equal to what? Tau V minus tau C into BD. VS is equal to tau V minus tau C into BD. VS is equal to, isn't it? In the very first expression, VS is equal to, I have written this 0.87 AFI into ASB into D by SB. I have written. Further, I have simplified and I have written as how? ASB by B, SB, tau V minus tau C into B by 0.87 Fy. You can directly use this expression also for vertical stirrup. For inclined stirrup, this expression is different. So I will discuss later on why this expression is sin alpha and what is cot alpha there. Sorry, what is the angle alpha? This angle alpha is basically your crack. Okay. Sorry, alpha is your not crack. Alpha is your what? Inclination of this stirrup. Suppose you are not providing this stirrups vertically, you have provided this stirrups at an angle alpha, then that inclination is your alpha and sin alpha, and that we'll discuss later on. I'll show you. Okay. So this is your tau c max in table number 20, and table number 19 is your design shear stress, and this is your maximum. That's why this term is design shear stress. Why design shear stress? Because above this value you have to design the beam as a shear. From the shear point of view, you have to design. Clear? And this is maximum shear stress. Why it is maximum? That means in a beam you can put shear stress up to this much only. If the shear stress is above this much, then what you have to do? You have to redesign the beam. Clear? Up to this much clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just wait. SB is equal to a spacing of these stirrups. For this spacing of these stirrups, other two conditions is also there. Let me check where it is. Other two conditions are also there. One is your 0.75D and one is your 300. And lesser of these three you have to take as the stirrup. See this expression just we have derived. Tau B minus tau C B SB by 0.87 Fy. Let me check other two also. Everything is given. When TB is less than tau C, tau B is less than your tau C, given in table 19, minimum shear reinforcement shall be provided in accordance with 26.5.1.6. 26.5.1.6 is where? So 26.5.1.6. Okay. This is I think 5.1.6. See this formula. Minimum shear reinforcement. Minimum shear reinforcement in the form of stirrup shall be provided as such that. This expression we have not derived. This expression is what your this 4 is came here in place of tau B minus tau C. Tau B minus tau C. This 4 is 0.4 is came here. Come here. Why 0.4? That means difference between tau B minus tau C is 40%. We have derived this expression as ASB by SB equal to tau B minus tau C into B by 0.87 Fy. Just now we have derived. So in place of tau B minus tau C, here numerical value is put here. What is that? 0.4. That means difference between tau B minus tau C is equal to 0.4. So in that case, you have to provide minimum reinforcement, minimum shear reinforcement. Okay. So this, according to this, you have to provide minimum reinforcement, minimum shear reinforcement. And this spacing is how much? See here. The maximum spacing of shear reinforcement measured along the axis member shall not be exceed 0.75 deep for vertical slab. We are talking about vertical slab. So one is this. By this formula, SB is equal to 0.87 Fy. Not by this formula, huh? So just check these two first. One is 0.75 D and another is in no case shall be spacing exceeds 300 mm. So in no case it should not be greater than 300 mm. That means maximum spacing is 300 mm. Remember the clause 26.5.1.5, maximum spacing of shear reinforcement. First, you have to check by the expression just we have derived. What expression we have derived just now? ASB by SB is equal to tau B minus tau C into B by 0.87 Fy. That expression we have derived. Next, you have to check by this 0.75 D, and next is equal to 300. So out of this T, the lesser one you have to take. Clear? Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
See. If you are not designing the beam or shear, that means concrete itself can resist the beam support. Then the spacing is this one. ASB by BSB, that means spacing is equal to, from this expression you have to calculate. In place of tau V minus tau C, you just put 0.4. If no shear reinforcement is required. But if no shear reinforcement is required, that means stirrups is required, then also you have to provide minimum shear. Then you have to use this expression 0.75 D and 300. Now, if you are designing the beam from the stirrups point of view or shear point of view, that after checking tau C and tau V, you find out that tau V is greater than tau C. Then you have to find out this spacing by the expression just we have derived. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the one formula for spacing. Whiteboard is visible.
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes,
is
sir.
the one formula for spacing. If you are designing the beam from the shear, if you are not designing the beam from the shear, then this tau V minus tau C is equal to how much? 0.4. That is the difference. Number 2 is what? 0.75 D. And number 3 is 300. So out of these three, lesser one you have to take as the spacing of the stirrup. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So just quickly we will solve one problem. Quickly we will solve. Rectangular beam is given. Which is equal to 300 mm. Overall depth is given 500 mm. VU is given 350 kilonewton. Reinforcement is given tensile 5 number of 25 torr. Grade of concrete M20. Grade of steel Fe 415. And clear cover is given 25 mm. So first, let me find out small d. It is very important. Effective depth. That is 500 overall depth minus clear cover 25, and diameter of the bar is given 0.5 mm. Next, what I will calculate? Number 1, tau V is equal to VU by VG. We will check whether shear reinforcement is required or not. So V is equal to 350 into 10 to the power 3 in terms of Newton. V is equal to 300. G is equal to 462.5. See why I have converted into Newton, because our tau C value is given in Newton per mm square in IS 456. Okay. So this is 2.5225 Newton per mm square. Up to this much clear?
Yes, sir.
So next we have to find out tau C, design shear strength. So therefore, to find out that what we require, to find out tau C from the IS 456, first of all, what we have to find out?
Sir, VC.
No, not VC. You have to find out area of reinforcement, because in that table, and one side it is percentage of reinforcement and other side your grade of concrete. you cannot find out VC. Okay, so that's why it is given
Yes.
with respect to a percentage of reinforcement. So first of all, you have to find out area of reinforcement. AS3 is equal to 5 into 5 by 4 into d square is equal to 25 square. This is how much? 2455 mm square. So percentage of reinforcement AST by BD into area, that means. Okay. Here remember, D is equal to effective depth, not overall depth. AST by BD is this is equal to what? Reinforcement area divided by total area into 100. That is your percentage. So this will be 1.769%. So now we will check with respect to this percentage of reinforcement, what is the value of tau c? Ice purpose is feasible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So value is how much? 1.7. And grade of concrete is M20, but 1.7 value is 1.75, 769. So 1.75 is given here. So we will approximately taking the value of 1.75. So for 1.75 percentage of reinforcement for M20 grade of concrete, tau c is how much? 0.75. Clear? For 1.75, I highlighted this. For 1.75 M20 grade, because we are using M20 grade, the percentage tau c is how much? Design shear strength 0.75. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if it is 0.75, so tau c from table what it is? 19, I think. Table 19, yes. IS 456. Always you have to write down if you are referring something. It is how much? 0.75 Newton mm square. But our tau v calculated is how much? Tau v is equal to 2.525. Which is greater than tau c. So if it is greater than tau c, then what we have to do?
Sir, we have to take the lower value.
Huh?
So we have to take the lower value.
No.
Design force, sir.
Yeah, design force here. This tau v is greater than tau c. Design shear strength. That means we have to design this beam from shear failure. It is this tau v is less than your tau c max. Your M20 value of tau c max is equal to how much? 2.8. Less than 20 tau c max. So no need to redesign. Just you have to design this beam for shear failure. This Taussig max for M20 is 2.8 from table 20. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Taussig max is equal to your 2.8. 2.8. That's why you have to design this beam for shear point of view. So for designing, what we have to first calculate? Suppose in the design of a beam, we have to assume diameter of the beam. Suppose I am saying that I am providing 10 mm bar. Suppose 10 mm bar, two-legged 10 mm bar providing as stirrups. Okay. Clear? So ASB, area of the stirrups, is how much? 2 into pi by 4 into 10 square. Why 2? Because I am using two-legged. 157 mm square. So from IS 456, if I am using directly this formula, ASB by SB, or this formula, VU, just we have said VUS or VU. In the IS 456, I have shown you 0.87 FY ASB D by SP. So VU is equal to how, what? VUS is equal to tau V minus tau C. VD is equal to, just we have derived. Again, I am deriving. And from that, what you will get? ASB by SV is equal to tau V minus tau C into B by 0.87 Fy. So SB is equal to how much? We need SB because we have already assumed diameter of the bar. ASB 0.87 Fy by tau V minus tau C into B. Tau V we know, tau C we know. ASB we have calculated, Fy that is given, Fe415 width of the beam is given, and from here what we will get? 106. If you are putting all this value, 106 mm. Again 0.75 D, 0.75 into 462.5, that is how much? 346.8. That is the second condition. And third is your 300 mm. So in what spacing we have to provide these stirrups? Out of these three?
106.
Sir, 106
Yes.
mm.
Okay, that means we are providing ten or two leg at the rate 106 mm center to center. But in our practical case, when you are applied this beam in your practically, then we are not using this as 106, rather we are using 100 mm. Okay, rather than using 106, we are using 100 mm for easier to measurement purpose. So let me give you that in this thing. Just wait.